Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the JSJ podcast. I am your host, Josh, joined by my other co-hosts, as always, Sam and Josh. We got another special, lovely episode of the JSJ for you all here today. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff. We don't have anything, hugely that we want to focus in on like we have with some of our more recent episodes, but we're just going to talk about some stuff that have been, on our mind, and a few things that have been on the news and stuff we've done recently and, stuff like that. So, yeah, gentlemen, let's get into it, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, we can talk about that first.
You want to talk about that first?
Easy enough.
Okay.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, we all went to the theater together,
Mm-hmm.
a few of our other friends, and we ended up watching The Lord of the Rings. Was it like the second day it was out? It was.
Yeah, I
think
think it was
so.
the second day.
It just came out.
It came out on a Thursday, which is like I'm not going on a Thursday. Not that I'm not against. Not that I'm not against going on a Thursday. It's just like it doesn't work.
It's a weird day to.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like who's free to go on a Thursday night? There's
Yeah. Thursday is not the day to be planning group days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we saw it pretty much when it was fresh out on the theaters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it actually in the 4DX seats, where that kind of got crazy. Where you can kind of have the seats moving with all the action scenes, and there's wind around you, and all these environmental changes and shit in the theater. It was kind of immersive.
That was my first
pretty cool.
time doing it ever.
That made it better. Also
Oh yeah, I mean that was the first time I ever did
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and I was like, yes, I'm here for this.
the elephant. Okay,
We'll get to the elephants. But
okay.
First off, what were your thoughts going into it, guys? This movie.
Okay, I guess I'll start because I started already saying
Sure.
I would say, okay, going into it, okay, I want to get this clear. When I go to watch a movie, I usually don't have much expectations, like, at all. It doesn't mean that I'm going to think it's, like, good or bad. It's usually just, like, okay, I just don't know. Like, I have no clue.
Yeah, like, let's see how it is.
Yeah, even if a movie, everyone says it's, like, great or something, I'll still go into it with, like, the expectation of, I might think this sucks, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of I go into things like optimistic, but like I'm never like, dude, this is gonna be the best fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean the only thing I can maybe get like that is like, I don't know, fucking Spider-Verse 3 or some shit. Like maybe that. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
There's not much though. So
Franchises have a little bit more weight to it, I feel like, but
yeah, they do to an extent. I mean like. It depends what the franchise film is.
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll just if it was Return of the King, going into it, I'd probably be more like,
Yeah, your expectations would be high because the other
Yeah.
two were, really good. So
yeah. Whereas this was just like, okay, we'll see how this. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Well, I knew it was like I saw the trailer when I was watching a different movie. Like you know how they put trailers for different movies before the real movie starts.
Yeah.
So I pretty much saw it come on one time, and I was like, oh, it's got like an animated style to it.
Yeah.
I really liked, like my first impression was I really liked how they did the
animation,
art design with it and the animation. Yeah.
I do too. I like how, like, I honestly I like animation. I find whenever something's animated, I just think it always looks. It's like more like interesting to look at usually.
Yeah.
yeah, the visuals in animation definitely stand out a lot more because I think it's just because it's so like more colorful off the bat.
Yeah. Also, like, there's barely ever 2D, like, traditional animation in the, like, movie theaters these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, especially in American theaters and stuff.
I don't know, man.
It feels like a thing of the past.
Yeah, it's a lost art a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, we
And
need...
would you guys classify this as like a spin-off of Lord of the Rings? Because you really don't really need to have watched Lord of the Rings to watch this movie, I would say.
Yeah, no.
It's
it's
a
definitely like a
spin-off.
spin-off. It's not like a direct prequel to it or in the same way that The
No.
Hobbit was or anything like that. It's definitely a sort of side story.
Yeah. Well, it's like from what I know, isn't it like something they mention, like, the like, glossary or something in it?
Yeah, it's in one of the appendices is what the movie's, I think,
Yeah.
loosely based on.
It's something that, yeah. So
yeah, but that's pretty much my thoughts going into it.
yeah. So what about you, Josh? What was your...
Yeah, I mean, mine was kind of the same. There wasn't that much marketing put into this movie, so I kind of forgot that it was coming out. Didn't know too much about it. My expectations were overall pretty low. Like, I thought the movie was just going to be fine and nothing, like, truly exceptional, but a part of me was optimistically hoping that it would be, it'd blow me away or something like that, but I wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah, I'll say one thing about it of, like, kind of why I wanted to go see it to begin with, is it was, like, I just kind of liked that they were making animation. I was like, okay, if it was, like, okay, if I'm being completely honest, if it was, like, a live-action film of like a live-action spin-off of Lord of the Rings like this, I probably wouldn't have cared, because there was, like, Rings of Power,
really?
which, like, sucked.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's just because it's like a spin-off, if you know what I mean. Like, okay, I'll put it like this. If, okay, let's say, let's take, like, the MCU, for example, right? The next Avengers movie, I'll go see it, right? Because it's Avengers. But, like, I don't care about, like, whatever else is, like, coming out.
Yeah, like...
Now, yeah. But if it was, like, animated, then it's a...
projects. Yeah.
Yeah. But if it was, like, an animated one, then it's a bit more, like... It's just because it just stands out more. Where I'm kind of just curious about it.
Yeah, it's definitely more unique that way.
I think that's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah, so I guess we should go in depth about the actual movie now.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, what were your thoughts on the film after actually having had the chance to see it? Did it, like, live up to your expectations? Were you surprised by anything? How did it go for you guys?
Yeah, I guess we'll go in the same order.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Again? Okay. Okay, I think it's a good movie. I think it has a lot of problems, though, if I'm being honest. Like
what?
I think like the plot, like the story and the characters, I don't know, I think the characters were weak.
They were really basic. That's for
like
sure.
The fight scenes were, like, cool. But it's like the actual storyline, it was just not. I didn't think it was that like good.
It wasn't all that, yeah.
Because, like, okay, the main character, who I heard she doesn't even, like, have a name in the book.
Yeah,
right.
I don't
She's
think
kind of
so.
just. So
I don't
she's
remember
like,
very much about this section of the appendices. I haven't read the Lord of the Rings book for a long time, but I don't remember how much of it is, like, actually true to the books or how much it was, unique. But I think that my guess is that they probably took a lot of creative liberties with all of it.
Yeah, probably. So it's like, I think, like, I don't know, she's kind of like there's not much to say about her, to be honest. She doesn't really have...
I don't think there's very much to say about most of these characters.
No, it's like her goals is just don't get defeated, pretty much. And then the villain didn't seem that smart. He
made horrible decisions every time.
The whole movie is just him being dumb.
He had this, like, mastermind, like, side guy that would whisper in his ear the right moves to take on each step in this fucking movie.
Every time.
And he'd be like, no, kill him.
It's just, like, the whole movie is just people being dumb. And then the Helm or whatever, like, big man there, he's like, he kicks out his nephew for some, like... And then there was they're like, when they're, like, building that giant, like, bridge thing, right?
Yeah.
My question is, why didn't anyone just throw fire at it before it was finished?
I guess they didn't have the artillery at that point, but
maybe not. Maybe
they didn't.
Remember when that guy shot the arrow at the other guy and it didn't reach? I remember there was, like, a point where they were shooting arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been built, like, out of range or something.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but so that I feel like was weak, and it was a bit. I feel like it made it hard for me to really care about, like, honestly, like, what was, like, going on that much. But okay, I'll say this because I'm making it sound like I don't like the movie now. But, like, the fight scenes were pretty sick. I can't lie, bro.
Yes.
When like this guy, Helm, right? That was his name? Helm.
Yeah.
Or Hammerhand. Or
yeah,
whatever.
Hammerhand.
Hammerhand.
That guy, bro. He like became an actual, like, beast mode.
Yeah.
Punching the shit.
That guy was
just
like god at the end.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, holy shit. And then the like elephant thing, that was sick too.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that whole chase scene was actually really good. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah, so I liked those. And, like, I would say it was like an entertaining movie. I just think it's like
I don't try to be critical about it.
Yeah,
there's some weaknesses.
I don't feel like it's a movie I'm like gonna like rewatch ever, probably.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch it again. I don't think either.
Like
I think we saw it the proper way too with the 40X.
Yeah, the 40X.
Yeah,
made
that
it
was probably like the most fun way to experience it.
Yeah, so like, okay, I probably would give it like a 6 out of 10, to be honest.
I'd probably sit in the same camp. It's like,
yeah,
to me, it was like, this movie isn't anything exceptional. Like, most of the storylines that are present in the movie, most of the themes, they've been done in other media, and they've been done in more interesting ways. It seemed like kind of an unnecessary movie, in my opinion, and I read something the other day how it was kind of like rushed to be made, so that way, what's the company?
They could,
is it
they
Warner
could keep
Brothers,
the...
or who? Yeah, they could keep
I
the
think,
film
yeah,
rights.
I think it is. Yeah, I heard that too.
To Lord of the Rings. And like after hearing that, I'm like, you know what, that really does make a lot of sense. Because to me, this is like it's a pretty like fairly straightforward story. It's simple, mildly interesting. But you're not gonna get anything too much more than that. So I mean, to me, if you're a fan of like Lord of the Rings, you should check it out because it's interesting to see the Lord of the Rings world in this like new art style, and you get some expanded lore on the Rohirrim and all that. But outside of that, there's not too much going on in this movie to make it really that compelling in my view. It looked really nice though.
Yeah, it did look cool.
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw, like the points you guys made pretty much line up with what I was thinking, but I have to say I gotta go back on what you said, Josh, about the action scenes were like really entertaining. I mean, like even the fucking elephant scene, I was there, bro. I was invested. I was feeling the elephants, bro. Okay, there were points where I thought I was in a car crash. I was like, holy shit.
Everybody's listening to this. I need to read the post out there. Me and him were dying of laughter when these elephants, because the chairs were like literally shaking with every step. Though it was like an earthquake, bro.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's something I'll always remember for that. But yeah, I mean, speaking of memorable things, I think the characters themselves weren't too memorable aside from Helm Hammerhand just kicking the shit out of everybody during that winter scene. Yeah, I thought that was pretty badass.
I'll say he's definitely the best character in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helm, I think he was the probably the best part. Okay, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I think if the elephant crap didn't happen, I probably would have said a 5 out of 10. To be honest,
it is a fairly plain movie, but so I can get
actually
that.
no. Okay.
I was gonna say, I wish they did more with the bird.
Oh yeah, there was like the bird.
And
there was this whole sequence where the main character, I would say, she was climbing the mountain. What's her name?
Hera.
That person. She was climbing the winter mountain, and there was this whole epic scene where she was like praying to the bird or like talking to the bird to get the bird's help, and like all the bird did was fly over the dude once.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted the bird to take down the tower. You know what I mean? Like, damn.
That would have been cool. But I'm pretty sure it's true in the Lord of the Rings, like the lore, that like the eagles, they generally don't interfere with like mortal affairs and whatnot, and that's also why they don't like just fly like Frodo to Mordor in the movies and stuff. Like they have like these like very specific rules and stuff like that. I was honestly surprised to see it be like a factor in the movie at all, because I'm not sure in that instance that the eagles would actually do anything, but it was a cool like little moment in the movie, so I'm not that upset about it. But I don't know, maybe any Lord of the Rings fans can fill in the gaps in my knowledge, but I don't think that the eagles would have acted in that scene in particular, so to me it was strange, but I don't know.
There's a lot of strange things here.
Yeah.
I just like a Helm the way he dies and he's just standing there. He's
frozen over?
Yeah.
That was
what a Chad
crazy.
death. What a Chad. My man was he just stood there and died in the cold. My man, he wasn't even sitting down.
I would say my sequence from when the king was unconscious and then disappeared mysteriously, and then people were dying one by one by the supposed ghost of Helm Hammerhand. I thought that was probably my favorite sequence in the movie because I actually didn't know what was going on.
I would
like,
say
what's going on.
I would say that's the most interesting part too. The elephants is like a personal thing.
That was
but, like,
entertaining. Don't get me wrong.
I
but-
really like that sequence. Sequence was cool.
As far as the story goes, that was cool for me.
Yeah, that was a good part. I just think like, dude, I like really wish the main character was like more interesting. Like, I don't know. It's just like, because I remember even like early on in the movie, it was like, okay, do you know when like Wolf, right? They're hit, like, okay, she escapes, right? And then those guys like attack, right? And they like kill her like brother, I think it was.
Okay,
right?
well, how much are we supposed to be getting into spoilers here? Is like all things, like on the wall, like on the table, we can talk about whatever.
We should have prefaced that.
Okay,
Spoilers.
here's a question. Does anyone care?
Does anyone
feel like
care?
if you're watching
that's
it-
kind of
That's like watching it. Like that's
Actually, you know what? I could just edit in a warning.
actually, yeah.
Like a
Do
screen
that.
that says warning. There will be spoilers, and then it goes into the
yeah,
intro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do that. Okay.
That's easy though. That's like there's stuff online for that. Stock
Yeah.
shit.
So
Okay, all right.
Okay,
well, in that
sorry.
case, we can go back into things. Okay, keep on going, Josh. Keep on going.
So it was like, okay, they were attacking and everything, and I had this like feeling that was like, I haven't like I'm like I don't feel like I know any of these people really. I'm like I need to like, okay, you know when like Frodo, okay, in like the old Lord of the Rings, there's like him and Sam, right there, and the other two guys, right.
Mhm.
And you can tell there's like a connection there, right? And like you see them doing stuff with Gandalf and everything, and they feel like people, right? Like, and you learn about them, and there's like stuff to know, and they have all these scenes of like Frodo walking towards the mountain and returning the king, right? And like you have all this time to spend with them, and this it's like, I don't know, it's like the main character, it's like, what does she do in the first like half of the movie? There's like, she doesn't want to get married. Okay, you have that.
Mhm.
And then like
She complains.
she's like, let me fight the war, right?
Yeah, she's a little bit more like
Gets
free spirited.
Yeah, and then that's like it. But my question was like what does she want? Like how, like 'cause I have no real connection to this like person. Like
To
at
me,
all.
Like she was like very sort of like I think the word is Shakespearean, right? Where she comes across like very stoic, very serious, and all of these type of things. So like to me, like I think, and that was true for a lot of the characters in this movie, which is also true of the Lord of the Rings characters in both the books and in the movies generally as well. Most of them are very sort of like stoic and sort of Shakespearean in their dialogue and their behavior and stuff like that. There's not a little bit more effort goes into it in the movies in order to give the characters more distinct personalities, which does, I think, help people sort of care about them a little bit more. So to me, it felt like it was, it's not super out of place in Tolkien's work for characters to behave this way, but it was really apparent in this movie because it's an animated movie. It's only like 2 hours long. You don't have a lot of time to get to know these characters. So when you have these characters with pretty boring, simplistic personalities and not a lot of time spent, building them up, it's not, that doesn't, contribute a lot to, getting invested in these characters or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off of like character building for a minute. Like the initial like rivalry between like the two kings or leaders or whatever. Like the dude looked like Wario. I think his name was Fresca. Oh no, Frecca or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
But this is
Frecca,
fat guy with the beard. We don't really get to know him or like his ambitions too well, aside from the one conversation in the hall. Like he obviously wanted him to marry, his daughter, but like aside from that, like I don't know where this dude came from.
and then like his son goes from I loved you the whole time to I hate you, and then he's just evil for like no
and then
reason.
he's just evil. He becomes like actually like really evil.
For no like this.
He went from timid to like psychotic.
There's, like,
in no
Yeah.
span of
It was wild.
building at all.
I don't understand why he's so upset. The
He
whole
became
movie,
the villain because like the movie needed a villain. Was more or less what it kind
like,
of felt
okay,
like.
I understand you're mad that your dad died, but like, Bro, nobody, including Helm, realized he died in one punch.
Yeah, like how did Wario get Ganondorf punched like that out of nowhere?
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
I mean,
No
apparently
offense,
that actually happened. I think in the book, right?
in
that
the
he killed
appendices,
yeah,
like by accident. I think I do remember that.
like he killed him in one hit or something. That was like the story.
That was specifically mentioned. I don't remember.
I heard. That's
if
what I heard.
If it was or not, but
I mean, fair enough. But like that was just like it just seemed like a good punch. It was a good punch.
yeah,
He was dropped, but then he's just dead.
I mean, I don't mind that he died. It's just the fact that like the son was so mad about at everyone else too, because of it. It's like, okay, bro, like
it's like really, dog.
relax.
Like, yeah, chill out, okay.
The king himself said he didn't mean to do that, so I don't know why you're going off.
Yeah, it's like
It is
you're in
what
your
it
right
is.
to be upset, but I mean, the guy he got into a fight with the king. I mean, like, to a degree, it was like almost like he probably knew and understood the risks and all that.
Well, also, I just when Helm was dead though, he kept like wanting revenge, but it's like he's already dead.
Vengeance, he called it.
Yeah, but I think that he wanted to rule like all of the lands of Rohan, so he was just basically wanted to root out that family line, root and stem, because if Hera was allowed to go and run away from the the keep or whatever, she like could have gone to get like reinforcements, and she probably has like support in Rohan and all of these things, so it probably wouldn't have worked out too well for him to just after he's dead to call it there. I think he was smart in that regard, but like yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just like confusing. Wolf is his motivations aren't super strong, and he does make some really interesting choices in the movie, but I think that he was probably right to want to kill them all. Like, if you're going to kill any of them, then after that point, you kind of have to kill all of them. Otherwise, the job's just not done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. I would say it's like, yeah, I just think he took it like too far. Like it's just he just kept going, or is like it's like he's already kind of won, right? Multiple times.
Maybe he went insane. Maybe that explains it.
Oh, maybe.
I think he was definitely a little bit like obsessed for sure. So
yeah, I guess it's just like maybe it's kind of just the way that it's like he seemed like it too much with not enough like it's okay. It's like this. If this was Frieza, right? I'd expect him to do that, right?
Yeah, because he's that petty.
Yeah, he's like a horrible petty guy. But this dude, like, I don't know, like it's like he seemed normal at the beginning, so it gives off the impression like that it's like he should be well adjusted, but I guess
he
not.
sensible? But he keeps thinking like he's so intent on this thing. Maybe he's
Maybe he's not. I don't know.
He'll even lie to get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
No honor.
No honor.
But like, yeah, I guess it's not the biggest problem. It just seems like I don't know. They seemed like the way they went about that part was kind of weird. Anyways,
yeah. Overall, I guess mid sort of movie we can agree is it's all right. But yeah,
I'd give it like a 6.5, just because
6.5
style really pulled me in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I like the atmospheres in that movie.
I'd give it a 6. I just think to me a 5 out of 10 is like true mid, right?
Yeah.
And then 6 is like good. It's like maybe like.
But you wouldn't watch again.
It's like I probably wouldn't watch again unless there was like a good enough reason to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, it's like it's hard to explain. There's some movies I'd give a 6 out of 10 that I would watch again because they're like they have interesting enough ideas going on.
Yeah,
right?
Some parts of it are good.
It's just this one. I'm like, it's just kind of like a fine movie. Like, it's okay. It's like this. This is always. Would you recommend anyone to watch this movie?
I would only watch like Lord of the Rings fans, really.
If you're a huge into Lord of the Rings, then maybe check it out.
If you're
once.
big into Lord of the Rings, like you've read the books and all that stuff.
Like a just average guy, maybe
Probably not.
Like
Probably
even
not,
like
yeah.
It's like okay. It's like I like the Lord of the Rings movies, right? I'm not like a huge fan, I would say, right? But I just like I like them, right?
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like I mean I've seen it now. There's nothing I can do about it, but like, it's not like it's like there's not much to get out of it, I guess, unless you're like you're super into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was thinking, have you watched the original Lord of the Rings trilogy? Have you seen it?
I only watched the first one. I have
Only
to
the
continue
first
it.
one, yeah.
Oh,
you
man,
should
you
watch
gotta-
all the movies at one point. They're great movies.
This
I've been meaning to, but ever since we mentioned a long time ago in the server that we're gonna do a movie night of all the Lord of the Rings one day. It's like, oh shoot, maybe I should wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that
that
never-
would
that
be
would never
fun to
happen.
do, but I have genuinely no idea when that could happen, just because it takes so long.
they're long. Well, I feel like
So-
honestly, the best way to do it is just watch like each one of them on their own day.
Yeah. Spend
Yeah,
one
'cause-
day doing each one. Don't worry
'cause,
too much
dude,
about,
They're so
else.
long, bro. It's
They
it's
are
like
so long.
I know.
Especially
I
if you
remember-
watch the extended editions.
oh my god. I remember when I watched those movies. I remember it was like I was only had enough time to watch one of them in a day.
Yeah.
But dude, you couldn't believe how much I wanted to watch the next movie. But I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's like there's not enough time, bro. Like, cause
There's no time,
I
bro.
remember I'd get back from work, right? Do what I gotta do, have dinner, right? Then I'm like, okay, watching Lord of the Rings, okay? 3 hours goes by, it's late. I'm like, there's not enough time to start like the next film.
Mhm.
So and this went on for like 3 days, bro. My God, I was like, I just wanted to watch the movie. That's all I wanted to do. I was like, please.
I'd say one more thing to add to like our little thoughts and review on the movie was I like that they did a little callback to Gandalf at the end. just to tell people, hey,
Oh,
this is Lord of
yeah.
the Rings.
You know what? That was actually something that annoyed me, actually, because this happened in like The Hobbit too, where they kind of imply that Gandalf has some sort of idea about the existence of Sauron's ring, like still existing in the world, which doesn't make a lot of sense in the context of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, both in the books and the movies, because the whole plot is like in The Lord of the Rings is that Gandalf sort of slowly comes to realize that there's something unusual about the ring that Bilbo found. And then he sort of like goes and does like research. In the books it's like 10 years. In the movies, I don't know how long it's supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be as long. And then he comes to the conclusion that like, oh my god, holy shit, Frodo, you have found like that is Sauron's ring, bro. We are in crazy danger. But in this movie and also in in The Hobbit, they kind of imply that he has some sort of inclination that like Sauron has like returned and is trying to get the ring back. So I feel like it doesn't match up with his behavior in the Lord of the Rings movies and The Hobbit either. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, I didn't like Gandalf's appearance because it doesn't make sense. But that's just as a Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh, a letter from
What about when
Gandalf.
Saruman showed up?
How pleasant.
When Saruman showed up, that was base. That was sick.
Oh yeah.
I was happy about that. They should have just left it at that, in my opinion.
Saruman. Okay. Anyway, so you guys want to move
It was
on?
an alright movie. It was
Yeah.
an alright.
It was alright. It was alright. I remember
Wouldn't watch it again, but
I remember at the end, like after it was over, everyone seemed really excited, like, "Oh, that was really good." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Yeah, it was good." In my head, I'm like, it was good. It's got some problems, but
I'm glad we did it though. Like, it was
I
still
don't regret going to see it. I'll say that. I mean, it was good.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a fun experience.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yep.
That's all that matters. Look,
Yeah.
at least when we like after it was over, like, man, I remember. I think the worst like movie theater experience I had was like Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I was so bored watching that. Like, I did not like any of that.
Yeah, no, none of those movies are particularly great. I wouldn't give any of them higher than I think like a 7 out of 10, but
Yeah. I'll say The Force Awakens is maybe better than this. I don't know.
I think it's the most fun one, but to me it loses so much of its identity because it's just so similar to like A New Hope.
Yeah. I don't know.
So to me, I'm like, I like this movie. It's fun and like the characters are good, but to me, it just feels like it's like a rehashing of A New
the old
Hope
one.
with like
Wait,
very little originality. So it's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
great.
Actually, okay, question. Sam, have you seen Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I've seen Star Wars.
Have you?
Good.
Okay, just because you never spoke about it, I'm just like, is he?
You gotta clear this up right now.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
gotta clear this up right now.
I'm like, do you like? Okay, so you've seen them. Okay,
Yeah. And those points are valid, for sure.
okay.
But I have a random question, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've really asked you guys. What is, like, your favorite genre of movie in general?
Oh, that's tough.
'Cause that's kind of broad, ain't it?
That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. If,
I know my answer, but I'll
I
see
don't
you guys can
know
come up
if
with
I
something.
have a favorite.
I will be straightforward and on. I think that I do overall. I don't know. I like fantasy movies. I like historical movies as well quite a bit. My favorite movie is this like Netflix movie called The King, and I really like the atmosphere it builds. I like its interpretation of Henry V. It's a unique sort of idea of that story, but I like a lot of like movies that are sort of in that vein. Like I like 1917, and I like Dunkirk, and I like Oppenheimer was also great as well.
That was a good one.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Kingdom of Heaven. A lot of these sort of historical or also fantasy movies like Lord of the Rings and
Have you seen
even comic book
Braveheart?
movies and stuff. I like that. I haven't
Have
seen
you-
Braveheart yet. I would actually. I think I really want to check out Braveheart.
I think you'd like that.
All right, I'll put it on my to-do list.
It's like
list.
kind of similar to Lord of the Rings. It's like it's not. There's no fantasy obviously, but like
Yeah.
it's like the whole like war and shit. Like and it's historic.
True.
Right?
Yeah, no, it seems very up my alley, and my full name as well. Maybe I shouldn't actually say my
No,
full name.
you don't
but
need to put your full
my
name.
middle name, my middle name is William Wallace. So, like,
Are you serious?
William Wallace is in part.
You didn't know that?
Wait! Your middle name is the main character of that movie,
Yeah. No, I'm named
what?
after William Wallace.
and you have okay now you have to see it.
I know.
What?
I feel like it's an obligation. It really is. I know a lot about William Wallace as like
Holy
a
smokes.
historical figure and stuff like that. And I've heard that Braveheart isn't 100% accurate, but I'm sure it's
It's
still a really
okay.
good movie.
It's still cool. It doesn't matter. It's
It really doesn't matter. When I go to see a historical movie, unless it's like a documentary or something like that, I'm not really that interested if it's historically accurate or not. I just want it to be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want some action. I mean, okay, my problem when it's like, okay, the only issue I have about historical accuracy is when the inaccuracy is something like really offensive. Like
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
I'll put an
That's
example. I saw this like movie once about Marilyn Monroe, right?
Yeah.
And there's like a scene where they imply that she like had sex with JFK.
hmm
And it's like
Really?
that did not happen. like, why are you like making these like that's like scandalous almost.
It's kind of damaging to her legacy as well if it's not true.
Yeah, it's like why are you putting in like stuff like that? Like it's to me stuff like that is where
I
it's
think
like,
it was like heavily rumored for a long time that they did have like
Was
a relationship of some kind. I don't know if it was ever confirmed or not. I don't know too much about 60s like stuff like 1960s history, but
it was just like I don't know. I just find it weird. Like it was.
Yeah, but that's like saying like you're making a Beatles documentary and Paul dies halfway through.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
It's rumored he
It's-
died, guys.
Okay,
I
also
think it's
that.
just a rumor. I don't think it was confirmed, but
No, like it's like it didn't happen. Yeah, it might have been a rumor, but like I just think that's like I don't know when it's something that like damages the person, and it's like not true. It kind of I don't know. It just
In
seems-
general, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
no,
fun to talk about it, but if they make it it's like it actually happened in the movie, and it's like okay, I'm like I don't know.
yeah,
about
that's
this.
fair enough. I don't mind, I guess, too much. It does suck that like most people they wouldn't do the research to sort of figure out how much something is historically accurate or not. But if somebody wants to do like a character analysis of somebody in history, and they want to be like there was rumors that this person did this, and we should write about it as if this person actually did do that thing, so that way we can like tell this particular story. Like there's like rumors and stuff like that, like who started the Reichstag fire in Nazi Germany? Was it Hitler? Was it, communists as Hitler claimed it was? If you were to make a movie about Hitler and his rise to power, you might want to show that it was actually Hitler in order to really emphasize the fact that, Hitler is some
he's horrible,
brilliant sort of mastermind.
Some bad guy.
Yeah, and he's a bad actor and all these types of things. So to me, I think it's up to the director if they want to employ that or not, but I kind of agree with what you say, Josh, because it can influence people's perception of history. I think some things, it might not be true, so that kind of is unfortunate.
I think honestly,
it's a question of values.
It depends on each story, I would say.
Yeah, on an individual basis, you can probably
on an individual basis if it's
whether it's worth it or not. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Going back to my what my favorite genre is, I don't know. It's honestly I might say this is kind of the same. I don't know. It's actually, you know what it is? This is the one I like the most. I kind of like dramas about people that are growing up, kind of not children. I mean it's
coming of age.
Yeah, they're going they're in college or something, and there's social kind of problems going on where it's okay. Do you know Whiplash?
Yeah,
that movie, stuff like that, stuff like that kind of. I would say, but I like that more than all the other ones by a lot. I think it's just slightly because I do also like fantasy adventure. Lately I've been into a bunch of sci-fi movies from kind of the 90s. That kind of, I don't know. It kind of just depends, but I guess I'd say those kind specifically.
I really like sci-fi too, though. I would say my favorite, though, if I had to pick one, is probably horror.
Horror, yeah.
I just find those movies really entertaining, man. Just even the stories, the backstories of all those fucking movies, I can get into it.
I can't disagree though. Horror is pretty sick.
Yeah,
not for everybody, but it's my cup of tea.
Yeah, horror is a medium that I think got really lucky with cinema. I think with cinema and video games, horror is more interesting than it ever was in terms of a book genre or something like that. I think with a visual medium, you can increase the tension so much more than with a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Sam, there's this movie you gotta see, dude. Called it's kind of like a horror. It's called Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue.
Yeah, it's an anime, but it's a movie. Trust me, dude. It's really good. It's on Amazon Prime right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Shit.
You can watch it.
And it came out in 2000 too.
Oh yeah, or it's 2002. No, not that one. It's from 97.
97.
Oh,
yeah,
the one from 2002. Don't watch that one. That one's shit.
I've seen this before. This is really well renowned.
Have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie before, but I'm familiar with it.
Oh, yeah. That's it's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Okay, I'll check that shit out.
Trust me, it's not even an hour and a half.
I'm reading into it right now. It sounds interesting.
It's okay. I guess I'll try to sell it to a second. It's one of those movies where you don't know what's real or not.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's really it messes with you, and you're whoa, okay, hold on.
Yeah, I remember watching a movie one time. It was a horror movie where this family moves into a house and it's haunted, but the whole time they're the ones that are dead.
Whoa, okay.
Oh, damn.
They got into an accident on the way moving there.
Wait,
but you don't see it. Well, you see them swerve, oh shit, almost got hit by a car, but it was so subtle.
Yeah.
But that moment, moving on forward, they're ghosts.
That's an interesting idea. I like that.
And the only reason they're seeing ghosts is because they're dead.
Yeah.
You know what?
And then the guy they contact to help them is a guy that can only see ghosts.
Of course.
It's really
Wait, what's it called?
I don't know. That's what's pissing me off. Because I seen it on TV. It just came on and I watched the whole thing a long time ago. Let me just look it up. Hold on.
Could you tell what decade it's from?
2000s. Late 2000s.
Okay. Oh, that's... I don't know. I love horror movies too.
The Others, I think it's called.
The Others. I remember there was a
The
time
Others.
where I was like watching all these like really fucked up movies.
Yeah.
That was The Others. I don't know. Horror movies can be cool. You know what I think it is about them is they're like suspenseful.
It's not The Others.
Not The
Okay.
Others, different movie.
The Haunting in Connecticut.
You know, I think
Yes,
I've
The
heard of
Haunting.
that.
The Haunting in Connecticut is the movie.
I think I've
2009.
also heard of that.
I've never heard of this actually. So I should watch this then.
You should watch The Haunting in Connecticut. They made it too? The Haunting in Connecticut is what the movie's called.
Okay, this looks kind of cool actually. I'm trying to think of like good other good horror movies I know. Okay.
I'll tell you, my favorite horror movie is a cosmic horror, and it's The Thing, for sure.
Oh,
For sure,
yeah, it's a
it's my
classic. That's a classic.
That, to me, that movie emphasizes sort of what I was talking about before, where it's like the idea of building tension so well. It combines, I guess, like elements of like a thriller to a degree, because it is sort of like designed around building and releasing like tension and suspense and all of that, which
Yeah.
no, to me that's what makes the horror genre really special. It's
Good.
not so much like how much it can scare you, but it's so much how much it can like sort of
The
build
the
up
tension.
that tension. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've like been scared of a horror movie like ever. I mean, when I'm a
Really?
kid, like I don't count like when I'm a kid, like, but like,
Mm.
because I mean, I didn't really watch horror movies back then, to be honest. When I was a kid,
I didn't watch
wasn't-
them very much growing up either.
I don't know why
wasn't a
I
horror
did. I
kid.
grew up on that shit.
I wasn't like allowed to. Instead it was.
You know the movie It? Pennywise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit? I saw that when I was 4.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I think I'm just like immune to it.
Yeah,
But I don't know,
both
I-
different.
I don't think I haven't seen one that scared me in like years, or like yeah, I guess like I don't know. I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
to me it's like also like the tension kind of thing. Also, I feel like would you guys agree with this that like they tend to be more like aesthetically interesting, like horror movies.
Yes.
They're more interesting to look at.
Yeah,
than,
I
like, a
think
lot of
generally the directors are more like creative with those types of films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how each scene is like it kind of goes slow throughout the movie, but it's also very detailed. I don't know how to put it, but like you really get invested with each scene.
Mm.
It's really done well.
Yeah. I'll have. Okay, what was it called again? Sorry, the
Haunting in Connecticut.
Haunting. Okay, I'm gonna add that to my like watch list then.
Yeah. Yep.
Haunting Connecticut.
Yep.
We should do. We gotta do a video like top 10 movie one like video too.
Oh,
Yeah, we
true.
could do that sometime. I definitely don't feel as passionate about movies as I do about games. But I would still be down to talk about that sometime. Mainly because I'm curious about what you two have to say, especially you, Josh. Who, Josh has seen like every movie under the sun. It sort of feels like so.
He's seen everything, man.
No, but-
Even the
No.
8-hour ship turbine in the water sitting there documentary.
What? Okay, I haven't seen that.
Well, you know that you said there was like a documentary of a boat in the water.
I
or
haven't seen
something?
it though. I just heard of it.
Oh, you should.
No, I don't know. I've gotten into like movies in the last like year a lot.
It's cool though.
So I kind of I don't know. There's a lot
You
of
use Letterbox, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good site.
Yeah,
mean,
I kind of do want to go through, like, if I can find a list somewhere of, like, the top 100 films of all time, and I just want to make sure that I've seen, like, them all.
I mean, there's different one. I mean, Letterbox has one. There's one by like critics that they made. They do it every 10 years. The British Film Institute, but it's like the most pretentious like list of movies like ever made.
Damn.
Like
Well,
there's like
That's on
7-hour movies on it. And I don't know.
oh, yeah. Like, I'm not too interested in movies like that. But the movies that, are generally popular and won, like, Oscar awards and, like, all of those types of things, got, like, those types of accolades and stuff like that. Because I've definitely seen some movies like that, and of the movies that I have seen that were, like, in that sort of category, I did really enjoy them. So I'm sure that
Yeah,
I would
Oscar
appreciate,
style?
like, yeah. Like, those types of, sort of, like, those movies.
Have you seen the like IMDb IMDb top movie list.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about, like being my point of reference. I've looked at it before, and I've seen quite a few of those movies on that list, but there's like a decent number that I haven't. Like probably the majority I haven't. So
there's a good amount I haven't seen either actually on there.
I gotta go through and just get.
I never go off of like top 10s. Top 10s and top 100s. I don't really believe in those.
I would say this. There's one that Letterboxd has. They have a top 250 movie list also.
Okay, if you're getting the 250, that's different.
Well, no, the IMDb one's also top 250.
Oh, okay.
That one on Letterboxd, I find it's more like it's got more variety. The like IMDb one is just kind of like if you ask like your dad, right, what he'd say are the best movies or whatever, that's the IMDb list.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
true.
It's like, okay, there's the Godfather and like Good, Bad, the Ugly and like Goodfellas and all the
Goodfellas, yeah.
Like all of them in order.
Fiction.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction. I mean, they're on the
Shawshank Redemption, yeah.
list too, but like it's I don't know, that one it's got more stuff on it.
More interesting stuff? Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'll use the Letterboxd one as a reference.
I will remember that.
Here, I can literally like link it. Hold on.
Alright. Yeah, I'll check it out.
So that's one topic.
Yeah, so now we got placed the 30th anniversary for the PlayStation just happened recently.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that briefly, yeah. I mean 30 years of PlayStation, it's pretty crazy to think about, isn't it?
That is crazy. Actually, what's cool? You have a PS5, right? Josh?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, have you been on it in the last like month?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you saw something. Like there's like a thing I put where you can now have like, okay, so it's like some kind of like on the menu on the game console. You can pick like the different PlayStations.
I know, it's
like,
sick.
I was like, dude, this is
damn.
It was sick. I put it on the PS2 one because I don't know.
I also put it on the PS2 one. It's the best one.
Yeah, it's the best.
That's a cool feature, actually.
Yeah, and it does like the sound effects of like the actual game consoles.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet
it's so cool.
Yeah,
I honestly, go on.
No, you go on.
I'm just gonna be disappointed when they take it away. If I'm being honest, I just want it to stay.
Yeah,
it's so much better than the base PS5.
They're gonna pull a Mario 25 or whatever it was, and they're like, "Oh, it's gone now."
Oh, I hate that.
Not 30 years anymore. The thing I saw about it that I kind of find cool, because I'm into this kind of shit about like collecting shit, is they have their own line of like custom consoles and hardware.
I've seen
the 30th anniversary, and doesn't it have like a classic feeling to it? Like it's the color, like it's gray and shit.
Yeah, it's themed to like the OG. I think PS1 is what it's like meant to be themed to.
Yeah,
I think
I love that kind of shit.
It is cool. I was kind of like I was late to like hearing about this type of stuff, so I saw that they had like released like the classic looking controller and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I would have liked to pick that up, but now I look on eBay and it's like $300 to $500, and I'm like, okay, that's like, there's no way that's happening.
Yeah,
it's so expensive.
That's so sick.
I gotta say, when's Boxing Day actually? Is that the
26th?
26. Yeah.
Okay, so I know this doesn't apply to everybody who may be watching, but we live in Ontario, Canada, and we have a non-tax thing going on for some reason for a couple months. And that includes video game shit.
What?
So
that's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is happening.
Yeah, there's the.
You can go out and buy a game or a game console and you'll get taxed.
That's good for a game, dude. If you're gonna get a PS5,
so if you're gonna get it now is the best chance. I'd say.
Yeah.
Especially games are getting so expensive, man. It's like some of them are like
for real,
like almost $100. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, no, it's really expensive these days. It's crazy. But, everything's expensive these days, so it's just kind of how it goes.
I read a funny statistic the other day where it was like, they did the price of the Atari 2600 when it was new, when it was first being sold, like in the late 70s or early 80s. Mm-hmm. Like that price then, now because of inflation, was like $800.
Yeah.
That was the equivalent. I was like, bro.
Could you imagine paying that much money for, like, no offense, that piece of shit, quite frankly?
And then each game was like averaging like around $100. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's more expensive than Switch games, PS5 games.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I
like,
mean-
could you imagine paying like $100 for Clue Land? Like, no offense, but I mean, like,
Cool.
Listen, man, there's that one Clue fan out there. He loves Clue.
All right, real talk. Let's get. Wait, hold on. Wait, I don't know if I should save it or not, but like, so game collecting, yeah. That's
yeah.
That's a big topic.
Those shits are expensive, dog.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking like, I do want to play some. I got like the itch to play some old school games. I want to play old school Pokemon in particular, and I went to go take a look at how expensive like a copy of Fire Red was, and it was like $200 to get the cart for the GBA out of box. I was like, okay, that is a scam.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Pokemon's like the worst for that, man.
It is
like,
the worst for that by far.
Those games should be like $20. They should be based on other games
dude.
of those sales number. Like Mario Galaxy, you can buy that game for $20.
Yeah, a lot of those games are pretty common and inexpensive.
So why is the Pokemon so expensive?
But they're like ridiculous things. I don't get it. But I mean,
I swear to God, man, if the same thing with the GameCube happens to the Wii, it's gonna be bad.
You know
I
what?
think
Luckily,
it is kind of starting to happen. If I'm being honest, some Wii games are really expensive.
I'm glad I already
Some
have
of
all the like Wii games I care about. So
Dude, I've been buying
Honestly,
up
me
Wii U
too.
games at the moment because I know it's gonna get bad.
all the Wii U. I
Yeah,
gotta get
Wii U's
game.
gonna get bad. It's because there was like 5 copies of every game ever sold
I know.
because there was only 2 people own the console.
I still
They
got.
might be rare because of that, though. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
I still have to get Game and Wario. That's
That one's already fucked up in the
I
price.
know it's
Really?
That's like 180 something or whatever.
dude. It was bad. I should have got it when it came out.
Dog,
Man.
I gotta sell my copy of Game and Wario. Are you kidding me? I like that game,
Beat
but
it
I
and
don't
then
like
sell
it that much.
Sell it and get Ribbit King. Do it.
True.
Well, I mean, you don't actually
Yeah.
have to do that, but
Yeah, so, anyways, getting back to what I was talking about, I was sort of thinking, I'm like, I don't even know the best way that I would ideally go about gameplay, because right now, I'm still a student, like, oh dear God, I cannot wait to be finished school. It's taken me, I've been in school at this point for four and a half years, and by the time that I'm fully certified as a teacher, it's going to be another year. So,
The grind pays off, though, man.
yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll make some money one day, but for right now, I don't have a lot of money to spend on buying like retro games and stuff like that. So I was like trying to look into what's the best way to get my hands on these old school games, and I've been thinking about trying to get a modded Wii because it seems like the Wii is a great like bit of software where you can play a bunch of old school games because like that thing has so much emulation that can run on it, and you can get like every GameCube game, every Wii game, every Super Nintendo, N64
Virtual console.
Yeah, you can get like any stuff that's on the virtual console running
Also,
on,
Wii Shop exclusives you can re-download now.
and you can re-download those too. So I mean, like,
Because that's lost media now.
it is lost
Yeah.
media, which is pretty cool. So I was thinking about getting into that because like buying any of those consoles where you can play like a bunch of like different old school cartridges, like those consoles where it's like 5-in-1.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
could get
those-
like one of those, or you could just suck it up and pay the original prices. But I'm like, neither of those seem complicated and expensive. But to me, I'm like, I just want to fast forward to like, give me the games. That's what I want.
Yeah, there should be something's got to happen where they just get every game like that ever came out like they should get them back. Like there's got to be at some point a way to have all the games ever made playable,
Yeah.
or at least like 99% of them, because it's like
Yeah, I know.
there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to like. You can watch literally any movie ever, pretty much.
More or less.
Like
At
it's
least
like
any of the ones that are worthwhile. There's
Yeah.
some way to watch them.
like it's like there's a way. I mean, it might be hard
Well,
to find a way, but
Maybe we have to wait 100 years like we did with movies.
That's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like 90% of like silent films are like lost to time, but
Literally, some are just burned.
yeah. I don't
Is
know.
anybody? No offense. Is anybody that upset about it? I feel like the most famous ones and the best ones are probably kept. So
Yeah, I mean, okay. Actually, I'll say this. There's this one that's really good. It's called The Passion of Joan of Arc. It's like it's from like 1927. Okay, hear me on this. It has the best acting performance of all time. In my opinion.
Does that
Really?
What?
Yeah.
It's a silent film?
Yeah. It's just like
I mean, I guess you better be good at acting in a silent film.
it's like
True.
I've never seen this much emotion in my life, bro.
wow.
I swear to God, I watched this one.
Wow.
I'm like, holy Jesus, bro.
Well, you gotta remember that comes from a time where like stage plays were probably more popular than movies at that point. So like
Yeah.
acting kind of really mattered, and the people back then definitely had a nick for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They knew what they were doing.
the movie is really big on using like close up shots, so that like the facial expressions all like it's good.
That's good.
I want to know if there's like hold on.
But yeah, man. As far as a modded week goes, it's 100% worth it, especially financially.
The financial.
Yeah.
But like the convenience of it, just you turn on your Wii and you can play whatever you want, especially just the oldies. It's great. It's just a good feeling.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like the idea of collecting, but to me, especially right now, it's just like too expensive. So maybe that's something I can get into one day. But at the moment, I'm more than content to just spend a little bit of money up front and be able to play all the games that I could want.
Yeah.
That's fair. I downloaded a PS1 emulator not that long ago.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like I don't want to spend like $100 to play like these games.
Yeah. What were you playing?
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Yeah. That is the type
Let's
of
go.
game. That's the type of game where it is like it's funny, it's iconic. So I mean, like you want to play it, but it's like, are you kidding me? Am I gonna shell out like $100 for a
No,
copy
that's
of
the
Pepsi
thing.
Man? You're right.
I think it was that and like a few other games. I mean, I've downloaded a lot of like the classic RPGs from there on like PS3 store. So I'm not like I didn't have to download those. But like Pepsi Man, LSD Dream Emulator, because those games never came out here anyways. So it's like I can't play them on the like PlayStation anyways. But it was LSD Dreams Emulator, dude. It's such a weird. You guys know what that is, right?
I've heard of it, but I don't know entirely what it entails. What does it emulate exactly?
So you walk around and like it's like you're on acid, like on LSD, and just some weird shit is happening.
Oh,
and that's
yeah?
the whole
That's
game.
what it is?
And yeah, and you just walk around and it's like, what the hell?
Oh, so it is an actual game?
Yeah, but it's like not.
It's a game.
It's like not really a game though. It's like you kind of just you walk around and you just look at stuff. There's not like
so it just simulates you being on acid.
yeah. It's not like it's more like a piece of art than a like actual like Mario Galaxy or whatever or like any game.
That's interesting. I heard about it, but I didn't really know what it was, I guess. No, that's cool.
That's definitely very interesting.
Also, one last thing about the PlayStation thing, bro. They really put Bloodborne at the end, huh?
Yeah, of that like special 30th anniversary trailer.
Yeah.
The Bloodborne fans never get a break. Sony won't leave them alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what though? People have been talking recently about there's this whole controversy because apparently Sony's trying to buy out From Software, which is definitely an interesting idea, and people seem to be a little bit like up in arms about it. But I'm surprised that people are this like strongly upset about it because I feel like they'd be happy because if Sony buys Bloodborne, then they might actually do something with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible. They also might just start messing around with the other games, but yeah, I mean, they already own Bloodborne though, so it's kind of
Yeah, that is like their game. It's their IP.
Yeah,
they own it in part, anyways.
You know what Bloodborne's becoming? It's the new 1,000-year door.
It is the new 1,000-year door.
It's like,
it was perfect, but stuck in its time. Yeah.
The limelight will come back. The prophecy is 20 years it takes.
Yeah.
Not 1,000. 20 years.
20 years. So, next topic?
This is one that we collectively didn't really mention during our previous video.
Yeah.
Well, I think at this point it'd be 2 videos back, but the Game Awards review pretty much is
Yeah.
Catley.
We'll talk about this quickly.
Yeah, we'll talk about this quickly.
AI generated.
Yeah, they made a trailer afterwards about it, like showing gameplay. But like the thing I heard though is they could have just quickly made that with like the most basic like stuff in whatever engine they're using. Like it might not be an actual game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say. It's like it's unfortunate to be honest.
It gave me AI vibes for sure.
Yeah,
when I watched it, I was like, I can see why people might say that, but they claim that there was no generative AI used in the making of the trailer, so I guess it just happens to look weird.
I guess, yeah. I mean, the thing that I just find unfortunate is like it's a cute little like cat game. It's like if it is a real game, I kind of just feel bad. It's like they're just trying to make.
They're just bullying the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's like this little cat game, bro. But like I don't know if it is AI though. It's like really, because that sucks if it's not an actual game.
Yeah.
Listen though, bro, we're gonna get to a point where it's not gonna be uncommon to see trailers generated by AI.
Ah no,
you know that it's everything like commercially is gonna be more AI catered.
I know, man.
Yeah, it's cheaper and it's fast. And once the technology gets better, it'll probably be more effective too. So, I mean, I don't blame it. But it's really kind of annoying because, I mean, it's been a trend for a little while now where, you know, trailers, especially for games, they don't always reflect the reality of what the actual game is like. You know, it gives you like an impression. They show you, you know, these really nice cutscenes and everything like that, but sometimes, you know, that doesn't match the gameplay style. I mean, the biggest thing that was guilty of this to me was Death Stranding. When the trailers were coming out, it seemed like the most interesting game ever made. And then the actual end product had gameplay that was, quite frankly, kind of boring.
Yeah.
100%.
So, like, to me, when you get these, like, you know, trailers made with generative AI, it's a really, you know, slippery kind of slope where, you know, I think after a little while, people will probably be able to sell their games like the most exciting and epic thing ever. And, you know, when the game actually comes out, that will be the real determining factor of, you know, if it's any good or whatever.
Yeah, I think just trailers in general should just show gameplay. I don't know, like, unless a game is specifically like it's a teaser trailer for the next game of a series, I guess. Like, yeah. Otherwise, it's like if we don't know what it is, show me gameplay because I like this does nothing for me.
Yeah, like I have no idea what your game is, so
I don't know, like some CGI trailer. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means or who these people are. Just show me the gameplay.
Yeah, what type of game is this really? Okay, don't get me excited, and then you know I find out it's a card game or something like that. Yeah. You know,
which. Now, we got a good transition here. Since we're talking about this, what are you guys' most anticipated games that are yet to release?
Alright, yeah, we can talk about this quickly, and then we'll wrap up, I think.
Yeah,
for me, by far, is Metal Gear Solid Delta, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. That made, I think it was my number 3, I think, pick, or something like that. It was really high on my top 10 list, I remember. And I go back and forth with the Metal Gear games and, you know, all my favorite games, really, on what's number 1 or not. But I love Metal Gear Solid 3 so much. It's a really memorable game. And I think that it is, like, on its own already, like, a 9, 10 out of 10 game. But if you, like, remake it fully with modern controls, then I think that can really be like a 10 out of 10 game and stand up there with so many others. It's like some of the best of all time. Like it's really exciting to me.
I mean, valid.
Yeah,
I would say for me, let me think. What is coming out? I would say, okay. Do you remember I think it was the last Game Awards, like last year's one? they showed it was like Sega was making a bunch of their old games again. Right,
Yeah.
like Crazy Taxi and stuff. So
Yep, Crazy
Oh,
Taxi
cool.
remake. Yep.
for me, like I'd say the like Jet Set Radio, the new one that's come out.
That
I would
is
say that
interesting.
that's probably for
That's
me
gonna be cool.
because I really like that series. I played that shit as like a 4-year-old. Okay. Yeah, I played from the beginning. Okay. They're just sick. So for me, it's that. That's like the most random game ever made, but like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Dude, I
yeah.
never got a chance to play it, so I'm really excited to play it for the first time.
For sure. Me neither, man. I would like to try that.
I mean, okay. So the unfortunate part is, I think the first game is on multiple consoles, but that one's fine. The second game, Jet Set Radio Future, which I think is the better one because that one focuses more on like the roller grinding and stuff, like on rails and like parkour and shit. Whereas the first one's more like graffiti based. So the second one's like that, but the game has a bunch of like licensed music in it and stuff. So it's just stuck on the original Xbox forever.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, no, that is annoying when games are like that. And it's just like, it's not even like that they probably can't get the license. It's just that they probably don't want to go through the trouble of renewing it. It's going to be like, trouble, and it's going to be expensive. So they just don't do anything about it. But it's like, that's like an iconic game that is just, it's not available to play.
I think honestly, okay, I would be okay with that. Okay, they have their own songs in the game, right? And those are the best ones. So honestly, if they just kept those and then just got rid of all the other music and replaced it with like better or like newer stuff, I'd be okay with that because I'm like, at least we'd have the game. And it's not like the actual composed songs like by the like main guy who did the music are really good. So it's like as long as we still have those in it, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I just think
That's a great
that.
point, yeah.
Anyway, Sam, what's
I would
you
say,
see?
just to roll through it, I would say it's not going to be a surprise to anybody, but because I actually played through the original trilogy of this game somewhat recently, I'm actually very excited that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is coming out next year.
Yeah.
And I get to experience it not too far off from when I played the trilogy.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm like, thank fuck.
Alright, which one's the
You're
best
one
of
of the
trilogy?
fans that didn't have to wait for
I like 2. I like
20
2.
years.
Dude, I love the Echoes like opening music.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, that's
It's
yes.
intense.
There is a Wii trilogy game with all 3 of them, but I just have the GameCube ones and the Wii one separately.
I got that one
I have those
recently. I've only played through the first one so far, but I do want to finish 2 and 3 before 4 comes out. So
I haven't beat any of them. I've played them all.
legend.
I don't know.
Also, fucking Glover's coming out next year, apparently.
What the
I thought
f-
that was
what?
interesting.
What? Are you kidding?
Glover
There's a
2025.
Glover remake?
Yes.
What?
No, it just says Glover Switch. I don't know what it means.
Is it a
Let's
port?
go.
It's announced. Not much known.
What?
Nintendo 64 platform Glover is coming soon to Switch. That's all we know.
And it's like an actual like a box game too. What the hell?
That's so
Yeah.
weird. That's sick though.
So that's also something I'm hyped for.
You can't just
Funnily
drop
enough.
this bomb on us at the end of the video. Like,
Listen,
Dog,
guys.
this is wild. This is huge.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to. I mean, there's Donkey Kong Country returns, but it's already returned.
I'm debating
You know what
if
I
I
mean?
should get that or not. Just because it gets rid of the motion controls.
Oh, that's kind of
True, don't have to deal with that.
quality of
Like
life.
I kind
Good
of
way to play.
that's like a very good thing. But like I also already have the game, so I'm a bit like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. And it didn't
All
look
right.
that much updated. I think that wraps things up, boys.
Yeah, I think that wraps
Yeah.
things up. Thanks for
Bit of a short
watching.
episode, but it's still good.
Yeah, I liked it. We just kind of talked. It's fine. The last like few episodes were very like, okay, this is what we're doing. We have to go. We had to have all these things down, and then it was a change of pace.
Before
Yeah.
we close out the episode, there is a couple words I need to mention here. I got them written down actually.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII and Jack and Daxter. Okay.
Wait.
There we
Did you actually have that written?
Because we did mention River King earlier. I had to make sure.
Wait, did you
Okay.
actually? But like to actually make sure.
No, those are just blank pieces of paper. I'm joking.
Keep if you could hear it in the audio, keep it because I could hear it and it was funny.
Yeah.
Good
But I have to
Alright,
say one
who
thing
wants
though.
to do the outro?
Wait, okay, I'll say the outro.
Okay.
I'll say the outro. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe, like, please. I swear to God.
We got the 10, by the way.
Yeah, we got the 10.
Yay.
Okay, so next video is 10 subscriber special. No, it isn't.
Please get us to 11 subscribers.
Do that. Just I hope you enjoy this. To message, comment, whatever the hell you think. Give us your opinions.
And we'll see you next year.
Yeah, we'll see you next year. And one last thing. When are you playing Final Fantasy 7?
In 2025, I'm playing Final Fantasy 7.
All right, bet. Okay.
There you go.
There we go, everybody.
Good.
Goodbye.